This was by far the messiest week of Boston Bruins hockey. The first major milestone of the season has come and gone, and Boston is ping-ponging up and down the standings, currently sitting in second in the Atlantic on the last day of November. But it will be all for nothing if they can't stop the bleeding when it comes to penalties. Oh, and can anyone else score goals right now besides Geekie with Pastrnak out? That would be great. This is a Bruins tape-to-tape snapshot.
I'm going to start this snapshot with a simple question. After the Boston Bruins defeated the Detroit Red Wings on Saturday night at the TD Garden by a final score of 3-2, and it took a shootout for the Bruins to secure that extra point. But my simple question is, where would the Boston Bruins be this season without Morgan Geekie? He is now tied for the lead in the league with 20 goals alongside Nathan MacKinnon, which is not too shabby company. And in the game against the Red Wings, he not only got the scoring started, he added a power play goal to make it 2-1 in the third period. That goal came after it looked like Morgan Geekie went down with some type of an injury that seemingly looked a little bit scary, but this guy is in total beast mode this season, folks, and he came back to score that power play goal. In addition, Casey Middlestat cemented the win with a sweet goal in the shootout, and Jeremy Swayman was excellent in the third period, the entire game, but particularly in that shootout, stopping the likes of Patrick Kane and Lucas Raymond. All in all, folks, what a great rebound win for the Boston Bruins after the dud that they laid against the New York Rangers on the Black Friday game. In that game, the Bruins showed very little signs of life until the third period. At that point, it was too little, too late, and even Marco Sturm was not pleased at all with the efforts of the players out on the ice, and he made no excuses for the fact that the Bruins have injuries, none the least of which is now we've seen 2 games without David Pastrnak, which is why I asked the question, where would the Bruins be without Morgan Geekie? And if David Pastrnak is out for any extended period, I might start to get a bit nervous about how the Bruins are going to string together wins. But be that as it may, I was glad to see, number one, a coach holding the players who are taking the ice accountable for their play on the ice, and the fact that those same players responded with a great team effort against the Detroit Red Wings, who are not playing bad hockey themselves. The Bruins secured that crucial extra point in the standings to keep pace with other teams in their division. These same 2 teams will face each other again on Tuesday night, and it will be interesting to see what turn that game takes, as it is a bit of a rivalry, 2 original 6 teams and 2 teams who need every point against each other that they can scrape together.
The Bruins are heading to Detroit for the second part of a home and away with the Red Wings. Personally, I'd like to see Sturm start Swayman again, as he was clearly the difference maker in the last game. In fact, I'll let you in on a little preview of my Thanksgiving model that will be coming out later this week. Get ready to be totally shocked by this one, folks. Boston's elite goaltending has been hiding all manner of sins, and they won't make the playoffs this year unless they get their penalties under control. It's literally going to be the thing that sinks them if they can't figure it out. And I don't mean that just as a fan watching the game. I mean that even mathematically. We've talked about them losing winnable games, and yes, that is also a pathway to the playoffs if they can figure those out. But the one that is the most infuriating is the penalties. It's all self-inflicted. It will be the biggest reason they fall short if they can't get themselves under control. And I'm not saying they need to cut back on all of their penalties. Let's be honest, that's impossible with the target on Boston's back. But if they can reduce their penalties by just 20% and increase their PDO, which is also known as their shooting percentage plus save percentage, i.e. shoot more, score more, just a little bit, then they might actually make the playoffs. But we'll see. Make sure you rate and review the podcast to help us reach more listeners, and tune in weekly to our full podcast available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and all podcast platforms.